And Honorable Kuria, so much about the expectations, especially on the side of the government, and a bit of it from Parliament. But on the political scene and matters that have really been hot towards the end, or hot towards the end of 2022, like I said earlier, there will be recruitment of IEBC commissioners. At least, there are 3 vacancies at the moment, and there will be 3 just after mid this month. And this has been a divisive issue. First of all, from the amendments that were before the House, I think the bill is still at the Senate level. I don't know how soon it will be concluded. But what do you foresee? Because this is an important body when it comes to matters democracy in this country. So what for you must tick for us to get it right in reconstituting IEBC?
Thank you very much, Sam. We've learned a bit the hard way. That the laws that we make, that the decisions that we make needs to be for the good of the country. And if you don't do that, then you could be making a decision skewed in a particular way, hoping that that decision or that piece of law would help you, only to find yourself on the receiving end on the other hand. I'm talking about some laws that we passed in the last Parliament, some of the approvals, including the hiring of these commissioners, and they were supposed to probably, in fact, the thinking was they're supposed to skew the results of the election in a particular way, only for it not to happen. And so I'm really looking at an objective recruitment of these commissioners. I'm looking forward to having competent, effective, bipartisan, qualified Kenyans who are not going to be there to serve the political interests of any political side. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to having truly independent commissioners. And I'm saying independent, that they must be seen, they must be perceived, the way they carry themselves, the way they will be recruited must be independent. And people now that will be going to give us a credible election that Kenyans are going to believe in and are going to accept the outcome of it. And for the first time, a not so expensive election. Because we run some of the most expensive elections in the world. Mm-hmm. So where I think it's more by plan, where funds are not being released, were not released by the last regime to IEBC on time for them to procure the necessary, whether it is the election materials, and so we end up with IEBC that bought whether it was SIM cards, whether it was the ballot papers, whatever it is, at inflated costs, for the reason that they had to do last-minute procurement process. They had to do restricted bidding because there was no time. Their time plans, their time frame that they needed to achieve, and then they were not adequately financed and on time. So I'm really looking forward that we are going to be very decisive in the process, that without avoidance of doubt, having competent, truly independent Kenyans who are going to have the heart of these Kenyans, who are going to have the heart of the Republic at heart, and are going to give us a credible elections that Kenyans are going to believe in, that the rate or the cost of that election should be, not as exorbitant or as expensive as the previous elections has been. And I'm really hoping that even with the temptation to make sure that we have our people or people perceived to be supportive of a particular political agenda do not find their way to be these commissioners. There are very many Kenyans who are competitive, who are competent, who have had decorated careers in respective fields that fit really the constitutional requirement to be commissioners of IEBC. And hopefully then, once they get that, they're going to run it competently and effectively and deliver to us a credible election. And also, that selection we had, I think, one of the lowest voter turnout. So I'm also looking forward to an IEBC that is proactive in terms of constant engagement with Kenyans. Telling them what their role is, not as just seeing IEBC during election time, because I think if you ask any Kenyan out there what IEBC will do, then they will tell you that they run the election. And of course, the president's mandate is to run the election, but there are a lot of processes and there are a lot of activities that go on within, even before elections. We have permanent and pensionable IEBC staff, you know,
right.
and so I think I'm looking forward to a commission that will be able to sell its agenda more to the people, so that Kenyans can understand what they do. That hopefully we're going to have more Kenyans being registered to vote, and actually even more Kenyans turning up to vote. In addition, to making sure that because IEBC is a mkunga, you know, who gives us the political leadership, and so I'm also looking forward to seeing programs by IEBC telling us what the roles of these particular positions of office are, and hopefully even being able to convince more young people, more women, and even people with disabilities coming out and seeking elective positions in the next general election and even the one after that.